How can you get your buyers, once they've just purchased something, to do that little bit more and upsell them to additional service or something extra that can put more money in your bank or in your company and make sure that you get additional results that can help you scale and grow? My name's James White. I'm a small business sales expert, a man that loves helping great businesses learn how to sell. And in this video, I'm going to talk everything about the upsell and what are the key things you've got to put in place to make sure you can make upsells happening. But stay tuned for the video because I'm going to talk about a thing you have to be careful about not to do in order to make sure the deal you've just won goes south. Let's have a look at the video all about the upsell. What are the key things we've got to do? The first thing is make sure that the upsell that you're selling links to the client's goals or plans or problems. There's no point in if they're looking to solve a solution over here for you to try and do an upsell over here. Even though there's a link and we'll talk about the way in which it can work, the reality is there's not going to be that much of a transactional link between the two. So for example, in my business, if I was selling a sales service, sales training to someone, then the reality is if I then literally turned around and said, oh, by the way, I also do recruitment as well, they might be thinking, well, hold on a second, that's a bit strange, there's a difference. Or it may well be the case that you could say to them, actually, because you've bought this product, I want to make sure that you've got something in place for the other area as well. We're going to give you the chance of a really great deal that can help you solve both issues at the same time. That's a simple way in which to link to the client's goals. They've got a problem in one place. They're likely to have it in a separate area or maybe a separate part of their office or whatever. Make sure you link it to the goal. If the problem is the same in another area, it's a chance to then move them through and give them that upsell to try and get both in at the same time. So the second part around an upsell, which is a key point to consider, is to do it straight after a purchase. Who's been in the shops like, I don't know, the furniture shops or the computer shops, and we've just bought that new laptop or that new device, and they've gone to the till and said, do you want the insurance with it? That extra 10%, 15% of the insurance, you go, oh, what do I want? I've just spent £1,000 on this product or this service. Do I really want to risk it for the extra 150 quid if it goes wrong? No, I'll have the insurance as well. And they've upsold you. The reality is they've done it straight after because scientifically it's proven that once we've just purchased, our brains are feeling much more open to that happening. We're feeling comfortable. We've made the decision. We're feeling good about our decision. So maybe when you're when you've just sold a service, maybe just actually say to someone, look, one of the things that we love to offer alongside our service here is a high priority ticket support, which a lot of customers really find value in. It's just an additional X. How would it feel to get that sorted as well? Now, you have to be careful that you haven't talked about that service during the initial sales process and make the prospect think they've got to buy extra for it. But if you've given them some options of A, B, and C, and they've chosen B, then maybe some options within C that you can add in on top of B that is a slightly different offer in there. The reality is straight after the purchase is made, they're feeling good, they're feeling on a high. That's the time when to do it. And if you say it in the right way, you never know what opportunities could lead to. It's got to be something that can make them feel that they're going to get even more for their service or what they've already bought. It's going to make them feel that actually this is worth having. It's an extra piece of protection. It's an extra piece of assurance. It's an extra thing in the event of something going wrong. You'll notice, for example, holiday companies do this really well. You've just bought, for example, the room. That's a fantastic room. And then they give you the option of the upgrade for just £20 more or £30 more, $30 more. And the reality is you think, because I've bought that room, I'm going to be more likely to move to the next room as a result of it. But if you then sold them a completely different holiday or a completely different date, it's irrelevant. It's not going to work. So make sure that what you do is relevant. Relevance is key. It's one of the critical words I use in sales all the time. We have to make sure that what we're talking about resonates and fits squarely in the eyes and the mind of the buyer that we have. So the next point is this: we have to make sure that the upsell is also reasonable. If you've sold a service to someone, let's say for £2,000, and then you make the upsell an additional £5,000, good luck, it's not going to work. The reality is in that person's head, they've just had to spend an amount of money and then you're trying to double it. It's not going to be realistic. There's a fine balance we've got to have within the upsell to make sure that our new customer doesn't think we're just trying to take advantage of them. We've not yet even had a chance to deliver the service or make it work for them. So we've got to be careful about making sure we do this in a reasonable way. If they feel that we're trying to take advantage, it could ruin the whole deal, and we want to be careful about that, as I'll talk about in the last point. But the key thing, if you make it reasonable and can work out what you can offer that's a natural sale, like something like an insurance, like an additional service, like access to some free resources that maybe don't cost you as much, then it's a great way to make the prospect think, oh, why not? Let's, as the old saying goes, I'm in for a penny and I'm in for a pound. The reality is, make that upsell reasonable, show them what they're going to gain for it, and it's going to help you hopefully get that extra bit of business on board. So when you've provided the details around that reasonable upsell, the other key thing you need to then do is provide a quick win. A simple response you can give would be, look, you've bought this fantastic service and we love what we do, but a few other clients that have done this have really found that it's really great to get this started and get it embedded in their organization with this extra little tool that we've added in, or this extra service. It only costs a few extra pounds, and the reality is what you can get from that is from day one, your team are doing this, this and this. Give them a quick win, make them see, make them picture and visualize how what they've just bought can then be turbocharged. The rocket can be put in, the fuel can be put in to make that work even better. And that's going to be a great way to make them think that the upsell's worth it. The reality is the quick win has to be delivered though. It has to be something you can use, and it has to be something that others can testify to. We're really pleased we bought this service, but we decided to buy the additional part because it gave us that extra security, that extra comfort, that extra assurance that it was right for us. And that enabled us to do this, this, and this. Put those elements in place, try and define what that quick win can be, what it can give them by paying that little bit extra or upgrading to that little bit of another solution or upselling, what it can look like, and it can make sure that they then feel that it's worth paying that little bit extra for to get that quick win and get the service started in a great way. So 2 final points about the upsell process. The first one is this: try and create a little bit of urgency if you can. We've got this incredible service that we're offering, and only a few people have got access to this at the moment because we're probably going to turn this off at the moment, or it's not available for everyone because we've had to limit the amount of people we do this to. And suddenly you've created that bit of urgency, that bit of, what is it that's on offer here? When you're trying to upsell, give people something that makes them feel that only a unique amount of people will do this. You'll notice a lot of the times when you go to events, there's this chance to be able to get the high ticket sales, for example, at the front, or maybe have a network evening with the people that are speaking. These special, unique things are done as urgency, but fundamentally, they're just an upsell on the core product. But they make people feel, I don't want to miss out. And that creates the decision in the buyer to go, yeah, let's do it and spend that bit extra. Upsells that can be done, they're easily done, but create that urgency, create that bit of FOMO, fear of missing out, and it's going to hopefully make the other person go, yep, I'm going to do it, and buy that bit more. But my final point on upsells is this: don't ruin the sale. I've seen certain people in sales situations that are so keen to push the upsell, they actually make the prospect that's just bought think, do you know what, I can't be bothered with this anymore. I even had someone that was so insistent to me on buying insurance for a device. In the end, I said, stuff it, and walked out the door. They absolutely ruined the sale because they were too pushy in trying to get the upsell. You've got to look at the signals. Some buyers will say, and I think on average, it's maybe 2 out of 10 buyers will say, yeah, they're happy to go with the upsell. And the impact that can have on your numbers can be huge. But there might be other people that say, no, I'm happy just to wait until, let's see what happens with this service. They want to build confidence that even though you've promised them a solution, that it's going to deliver the results. They're not totally sure, so they want to feel, yeah, okay, I want to feel comfortable that this is going to do what I say it will do. And in which case then you've got to make sure that you accept that, use your emotional sales intelligence skills. There's a video I did on emotional sales intelligence. I'll put the link in here to assess what they're thinking, what they're doing, and think, no, I know when to push or not to push. Of course, if you're selling online from an e-commerce tool, then you can ultimately do that without having to engage with the customer. And by the way, the process that we talked about here works just as well for online as it does for offline. Statistics will show, Russell Brunson in his books on traffic with ClickFunnels will show generally, on average, 2 out of 10 people will make the final trek from literally buying something to buying the upsell, even by just putting different pages in place within the buying process. So it can work, it does work very well when you give people additional things. They're in buying mode, they've made the decision, but just be careful not to ruin it. So there you have it. There's how to upsell. Let me know in the comments section below what tools and tricks work for you. How have you upsold? What have you used to be able to get the results? Maybe you've come from an organization like a McDonald's where they're perfect, they're experts at upselling, right? Well, they've been in a position where they could easily get people to go from the large to the extra large because they do it in such a simple way. What's worked for you? I'd love to know. Put it in the comment section below. And if you don't agree with any of the points I've mentioned, hey, let me know as well. Tell me what you're thinking. The reality is this. We all know that upsells, when they're done well, can help us increase our business profitability and margin in a great way. And if you use them effectively and do the things that I've mentioned, link it to goals, do it straight after a purchase, but make it relevant, make it reasonable, give them a win, show some urgency, but also don't risk the sale, you'll be in great shape. Thanks ever so much for watching the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like, subscribe to the channel, share it with other people. Let's get loads of business owners and sales professionals learning how to upsell and get those numbers going skywards. Thanks for watching. See you next Saturday for another video.